Welcome to Vora 101. We're going to get into this quick and easy. First things first, Vora. If you've never played her, you definitely should. First, talents. Unyielding pressure, relentless presence, deafening silence. Quick and easy. You now deal 10% maximum HP. Relentless presence, you get that 2 tendrils, but an increased cooldown. And deafening silence, why would you use this? But just in case, you now silence for 2.5 seconds on obliteration. Builds, plain and simple. You don't trust your support? Run a max sustain build. Let's say you do trust your support, you can run something like max HP and then a lot of damage resistance. Now, let's say you want to be funny. Here you go. Be really fast, really good for the third talent if you want to go for supports. Now let's go. What if you want to do the tendril build? Simple. Stack into max shield, stack into your damage resistance, get a little bit of max HP, just in case you miss and get a little Crimson Ascent, then Broken Path for a little bit of a filler. Plain and simple. Dive in, dive out. Now for the next, go to the advanced. You're going to have things like darkness stacks. Hitting anything will provide you a darkness stack. You use that to augment your abilities, such as a cripple for 1.5 seconds, or a little bit of extra damage and a slow for 2 on obliteration. Your ult fairly simple. You see him low health, you slash him, you kill him. Nothing too fancy. I'll see you in the training range. All right, let's do some abilities. So Vora's first ability is going to be her Deadly Scythe, being her standard M1. Second ability is going to be her Obliteration. Third ability is going to be her Siphon. And her fourth ability is going to be her Tendril. Now with that, you can chain things such as 4 hits and go into an Obliteration. You can do something like 3 hits, go up, and then hit the 4th for more evasion. Or you can just do something where you hit 4 like that with an obliteration in between for the kill. Now you will notice that I do have these 5 circles under my crosshair. All you got to do, hit your shots, those will fill up, and eventually you'll see the purple fire around the sides. Now what that means is you now have max darkness stacks, which will enhance your obliteration and dark siphon when you have max. So as you'll notice, when I hit him with my siphon at max, he'll have this icon above his head, meaning he's crippled. So if he tries to use his run ability, it'll be canceled and it'll be locked until 1.5 seconds is up. Now, the exact same thing goes for obliteration. However, it is a slow, and instead of doing 600 damage, it now does 900. As for Tendril, Tendril doesn't have any actual change in its ability. But with that being said, it still pairs really well with the others. Now outside of that, there is the ult, which all it does is on a low HP target below the 66% threshold, simply slashes them and executes them, making you CC immune and damage immune in that final animation. All right, so let's talk combos. First things first is her basic M1. Standard combo, nothing too fancy, doesn't kill, but with 1 extra little love tap, it will kill. Now you'll notice that if you do something like that, you have the 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is a slight delay between your next slash. So what you can do is chain it with something like your siphon. Do the 1, 2, 3, 4, and right after going to that, it'll reset it. You can go straight into another, and it will be able to kill a full HP Fernando after hitting all of them. That is only, however, with her talent specifically being unyielding pressure, because it does the bonus 10% of maximum HP. However, if you were to run something like this, you can attempt it, but you will not get the same result out of it. He'll be just shy of dying. All right, let's talk ult usage. Nothing too crazy. All you need to do is hit a damage or support around the 2000 HP mark, even 2200 HP mark. 3 times, you'll knock them to around half HP, which will be around that 66% mark you need to get the execute. Now, for something like a tankier one, you can simply go into the 4 hit, and that'll leave them, if they have more HP than the victor, around the 40% mark, which is still easily executable. For something like tanks, they're a little bit beefier, so using the 4 hit combo will leave them close to that 66% mark, but with any sort of healing, that would knock them above, and you would no longer get the kill. So it's highly recommended that you go for the 4 slash and end it with a siphon. That'll knock them to around the 40% mark, leaving for an easy kill. All right, let's talk buys. Probably one of the most important things mid-game that you really need to pay attention to. First thing is this can be intimidating. Some things you never really know what to buy. Some things look appetizing while they don't give you much value. On certain characters, it may be useful. Some characters might not. But from my opinion, There are some things that should be prioritized way more than others that will definitely benefit your game. So stepping in front of a Cassie bot, you'll notice I can only tank 4 shots. However, with Max Haven, I will be able to survive a 5th shot, leaving me at 18 HP, which is just enough to survive. With that being said, you can technically invest further into something like Veteran, which won't benefit you as much, but it'll leave you a little bit more leeway for how much HP you can truly tank. Still leaving you at 5, however, instead of being at 18 HP, you'll be around the 380 mark. Now, for things like dealing damage, you have options like Chronos. Chronos being very important, seeing as how your cooldowns are 11 seconds, 6 seconds, and 10 seconds. Getting Chronos 3 will reward you with, instead of a 6-second siphon, you're going to have roughly a 4.8 second siphon, or rather a 4.2, depending on how much you invest into it. Now, with Tendril being on a 10-second cooldown, is now on a 7-second cooldown, giving you that extra time just to get that cooldown back and get out if need be. Now, for Obliteration, you're going to be at roughly an 8-second cooldown, which will help you give that iframe just a little bit faster. But what's the most important thing is going to be your Siphon. Now you have the option to hit a full combo, and now you only have around a 1.5 second time frame until your Siphon's back, which is extremely good for killing something like a Fernando or a tank, as it plays perfectly into a full combo, allowing you to kill tanks. Now, for other buys outside of Haven, Chronos, Veteran, which actually Veteran I highly wouldn't recommend if you do go Haven, you can spec into things like Illuminate in case of skies. However, you won't need this. You can really get things like Nimble if you truly want it. Rejuvenate to help out your supports. And if you really are rolling that game, it is honestly good to go into Kill to Heal to get that 600 HP after going in for the kill. While you should be playing opportunistically to some extent, this can help you continue to snowball. Other than that, simple things like Wrecker can benefit you for dealing with someone like a Fernando spamming your shield, or a Barrack bunkering down in his ult, even a Torvald who's pocketing a flank. Wrecker is very situational. However, if I were to recommend a first buy at every game, outside of the exceptions being Torvald, Sky, things that go invisible or things that shield too much, it would simply be Haven. Haven being probably one of the most purchased cards in the entire game, offers you 18% damage reduction for literally just existing. It's not even a card. It's just 18% damage reduction. I mean, like, why wouldn't you want that? Just think you're only taking like 4/5 the actual damage that's being fired at you. It's honestly worth it. Outside of that, though, things like Life Rip, while they do benefit Vora, honestly fall a little flat in terms of every character because of Cauterize nerfing it really hard. Lethality, while viable, only gives you that movement speed for 3.5 seconds, and as Vora, you're not necessarily going to be snowballing as hard as Buck, so there's no point in going something to get that kind of movement speed and that kind of jump height. Bulldozer, extremely situational. Normally, if you just run Unyielding Presence, you can actually just hit Io's dog, that being the only reason you'd ever run Bulldozer, outside of like maybe if they're running something like Amani, Io, Barrack for turrets and such. Rejuvenate is to help your support get that little extra healing. As a flank, you are honestly very difficult to heal, and you will always be a nuisance to your own support, so it's good to give them a little bit of extra help just to make sure you're not spamming need healing the entire game. Kill to Heal, if you're snowballing, it's a good buy. It's good for every character if you are snowballing. It does proc on elimination, so if you get an assist, it does actually count for the healing. Honestly, just a very good buy. Morale boost, honestly, her ult is very situational, so you're not going to be using it as much. Highly recommend you don't buy this, as you're probably throwing. Master Feeding. Simple. If you are dying a bunch, but you are getting picks, you're just going in, dying, getting a kill, or maybe going in, getting a double, and dying again, this could be very beneficial to you to get to the spot you need to be, Tendril around, and you live. Nimble. Just all around a good card. Probably a good filler after you max out Haven and or max out Chronos, or get Chronos too. Spec into a little bit of Haven, get that bonus movement speed, just helps you go a little faster. Can't purchase Guardian, but Resilience is key. If you are facing a very stun heavy comp and you are not confident in the fact that you can just iframe it with your Obliteration, spec into Resilience. It'll save you, I promise. Now say illuminate. If you see a sky, honestly, you don't really need illuminate. However, if you are not confident in 1v1ing a sky and you can't really hear that well, or you don't play with audio, I do recommend getting illuminate just to save yourself the trouble. The reason you don't need illuminate for a sky though is simple. It's the damage numbers that tick after you hit her. Those damage numbers will show you exactly where the sky goes. You just got to predict it. So the moment she goes invisible, you'll still see those numbers. And honestly, as much as you see her, she sees you. As long as you pump the damage into her, nothing she can do. All right, here we are in a game. And just to put that out there, sometimes matchmaking does you dirty. And this is one of those games where matchmaking did me extremely dirty. Whereas it put me with 4 brand new players against what seems to be 3 new players and 2 semi-experienced players. So the match itself will be pretty interesting. The people I'm looking out for are obviously going to be the Strix and Sati, being the ones at the highest levels, and the ones with borders, you know, telling me that they're probably more experienced players, while I am stuck with 4 randoms. So with that being said, I do need to be careful for how I play, because having 2 new supports can be kind of difficult. And for the solo queue life, this could be one of the games you actually get into, whatever elo you're in. And yeah, you could stomp, but you could get stomped. It just depends on how your randoms treat you. Alright, so here we go. We loaded it, and the first thing I'm looking for is going to be what the enemy immediately picks. So obviously you can see like the Victor going cardio, Term going undying. I check what my team's picking as well. So we got like the Cherish Furia, Chain Reaction BK, Battering Ram Ash, which is level 0, so she has to go Battering Ram, and the Binary Star Genos. I'm also checking their builds to see like what they're running with. Obviously I check the Sati build, she's running coin Sati, and I get my first purchase. So immediately seeing that there's like a high damage Strix and then the Sati coin, first thing I need to think is, okay, I'm gonna be taking a lot of damage. I need to be careful of that Strix. I need to be careful of that Sati doing a lot. Don't really have to worry too much about the Victor in them, but Haven will be my best bet just to go ahead and get a little bit of just damage resistance in. And if you did see in the beginning, I did run my Don't Trust support build. I know we have 2, but even with that, you know, 1 went Cherish, 1 went Binary Star. You can never be too careful. So you'll see here, I'm peeking out the right side. I'm waiting for a chance to go in. So Vora's like an opportunistic flank. She kind of waits to go in for a chance, and then she gets out as quick as possible. You see here, I go for the flank. The Strix is there. I get them both low, and then I'm killed by coin, which is a super unfortunate circumstance. I had the Victor, I had the Strix. Sadly, just didn't have the damage to finish it, and there was no follow-up whatsoever until further they got the support on the Furia. All right, so right here you'll notice I'm going in. I can see my Fury is low, my BK is low. Our Strix just killed the Genos to the right, and then you also can see that little highlight of a person in the back that I need to worry about. So my first thought is I need to go right, because if he just killed Genos, he's obviously going to go for the Fury who's 1 HP and get greedy. So the first thought is, okay, cool, need to go right, avoid left, because there's someone that's relatively high HP, might be able to save my Furia. And then as we get there, you're going to quickly notice that, yeah, the Strix does push the Furia, and when he does get punished for it, thankfully, because of Vora DOT. So directly after that kill on the Strix, I see to my left, I see a Sati, I see the Victor, and then you can see the Term hiding. Term's not going to pressure me because he's hiding apparently from someone. And I can see the Victor who's not necessarily focusing on me just yet, but I do see the Sati at low HP when I tendril up. See if there's a potential pick I can get, and being opportunistic as Vora should be, I spot it, go for it, and then we should follow it up here. The Victor does end up focusing me, and then from there we just secure the Sati. So to start about now, and then the Victor goes for me. Since he's a newer player, doesn't hit it. I can peek around the corner, I get the Sati with the DOT, and since the Furia doesn't know how to get away just yet, since being in a low elo lobby, he kind of just stands there, and then the Genos cleans up the Term. From there, we just kind of wait a little, waiting for the next push. You can hear the Strix going invis. You know, always try to have your sound on with that kind of thing. I'm free-firing, avoiding coin, and shooting down that middle area, waiting for the Strix. Then from there, it's just kind of war of attrition. Obviously, I know the Strix has the advantage on me. I know the Sati does, but the moment she throws a coin, I can push into the Sati, but I get countered by the Strix. Then from there, I'm trying to pre-fire him, thinking maybe he's going to go that far angle. But I look back in the middle, and then, sure enough, in just a moment, you'll see the Strix just pop out of nowhere and get me. Right there. And I panic, throw stuff, go to obliteration for the iframe, end up hitting him, and then he gets finished off by my Furia, which is actually huge. So the next thing I'm waiting for is that Sati. I noticed she was not focusing on me. She's focused on coins so much. I just peeked around, got the kill quick and easy. Thankfully, it's when she ulted as well, so I got away with it. Now I'm looking for a Tendril to get up there for a potential pick. See the Fury all alone. The Victor not focusing on me. Get the support, and sadly get taken out by the Strix. Alright, so just a quick cut a little bit forward after getting my buys. Immediately noticing that my team is dead. However, no one was paying attention to where I was going, so I could just hide around the right corner just a little, looking for some kind of peek. Obviously, I'm trying to be funny here and go for the Strix. Doesn't end up going well. I do panic and hide. You can see me look at the coin and shake my head no, praying that she did hit me. When she didn't, but then she did. But you see me just waiting, hoping to get some heals. Obviously, you know players, I don't expect them to. They're here to enjoy the game and vibe. You know, I don't need to be a person spamming. I need healing for that. So immediately I engage, or I dive up first, and then I look for the pick. Obviously seeing Sati low, go for Sati, hit the Victor once or two times, and then obviously track him through the walls with the Vora DOT in the highlight. Get flashed by Strix, go for Strix, do jump shots, playing as passive as possible, end up getting punished for going aggressive, somehow get the Victor, and then go for the Strix and die. Got too greedy and died for it. Alright, and push has started, and the first thing I'm looking for is buys, what they got, in case they got anything to counter me, or like Haven or anything I need to watch out for. And I immediately go to the left instead of the right this time, thinking they're going to be waiting for me. And, you know, I turn peeks it, hits me with a Calamity Charge for some reason. Sati throw the coin, I get hit by it, and I cower a little, try a little bit of healing. It doesn't happen, you know, supports are doing their thing, it's fine. Get my auto heal going. I see the BK ult, go to clean up as much as I can, get the Victor off of it, thankfully, so avenging the BK. And then sadly try to ult to get rid of the flash and get that DR to get out of there, and then I am absolutely destroyed by the Strix. You'll notice that like every death I have this entire game will be the Strix. So I guess my assumption at the beginning of the game saying he's going to be an issue was correct. Now you can see him absolutely wreaking havoc on my team as they're all low, other than the Ashe, who is hiding in her ult. And obviously I see the Strix, he's way overextended. I go to punish. Me being Vora, I can see the DOT go up there. I just look up and shoot him, plain and simple. And then it's just me, Term, Furia, and then their backline being Sati and Victor. They're waiting. I see the Term back up. I think it's an easy pick. Go for the obliteration. Boom. Sati goes after me. And then I see her with my DOT go around a little. And I go for the sneak, but that only works so well as I do get the Sati. But what happens is now the Fury knows where I am and the Strix is back. So pushing that's going to be more difficult. But you can hear the Strix actually pushing to the left. So I go for anything I get. Do end up getting the Victor. Use obliteration for the iframe. Get the Fury in the process. And then there's still the Strix just murdering my backline. So realizing that, I go to the backline to support. Deal any sort of damage I can. Try to predict where he's going. And then we clean up half point, thankfully, because of Ashe. And then we progress. Obviously waiting out Sati coin. I go for a quick peek just to investigate, see if there's like, see any info I can get based on bouncing up. See if there's anyone low. See the Victor, go for the Victor. Get to secure him. See the Sati low, get greedy for it, and end up dying. Got too greedy, took too much damage, dove, and died for it. Then because of that, I'm sent back to spawn. My team is still there. And then the Strix, sadly, is going to clean up the majority of me not being able to protect my teammates. But I do get back just in time. I hear the Strix go behind me, freak out wondering where he is, only for me to realize that he's nowhere to be found. And, you know, being worried, I pre-fire my back. He does peek it for some reason. Probably about to run out of his invis. Go for him, do secure it, and then allows me to push up because the most dangerous person on their team is gone. So knowing that, I peek and then realize that my team's dead. So nothing I can do about that. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I go for a little peek to see who's where, what can I hit. Hit the Sati, decide to back out considering there's too many. Feel like I'd die. Using my Genos as bait here, wondering where the Strix is, hoping he... Oh, there's Strix. I was using the Genos as bait to see if I get the Strix to fire first so I could hear where he is and go for him. Obviously hit him, he goes behind the wall, see it through the DOT. Use my Tendril to do A little bit of recon, try to kill him, fail it, get killed by coin because I'm in a terrible positioning. And then we see something that the BK is doing. Again, I'm fresh out of spawn, peeking the corner, looking for what's happening, seeing the Strix completely wipe my team and get my Genos. It's my job to deal with him, seeing as I'm the only person that can confidently 1v1 him. I do get him low, he does flee, and BK gets him. From that, I'm able to push forward, almost get the victor, actually. Stare at the coin, get shot. Thankfully, the Furia heals me, and I'm actually able to push in. Sadly, my dumb one-cell brain ended up stepping off point at the last frame and cost us that push. Alright, so here we are back to third push, and obviously first thing I'm looking out for is the Sati ult, trying not to get knocked off, and the Strix. Very, very worried about Strix, waiting to see where he's peeking before I move anywhere. See him get super greedy, try to tendril, get knocked off of his siphon for some reason, and then try to push, get low, beg Furia for some heals, and there we go. Here I can see the terms low, go for the ult to execute the tank, don't have to worry about him, and then I cower behind the tree praying that Sati doesn't do what she's doing right now, and that is coin, because I couldn't survive that. And with that being said, Sati ended up completely destroying me because of coin. Alright, so now I'm back out of my lovely home, which is spawn, which I seem to love so much. And first thing I'm seeing is Strix is absolutely destroying my team yet again. See him pushing my back line, just follow the DOT numbers, obliteration to dodge some damage, and get out of there. I do end up getting the Strix, and I do end up getting the term as well. He overextended for me, steps off point. Thankfully, though, I can hear the Victor ult, so I don't have to worry about that. Gives me a chance to dive in and go for anyone. See the Sati preoccupied, go for her because she's shooting coin. Realizing no Strix, no Sati, no term. Kind of just hide here waiting for any sort of way to get something. Realize my Vora is freaking out for some reason. See the term go in, and I can hear someone step into my right, so I peek it, see the Strix shot, realize he's not ready for me, go in for the flank, easy pick, and I'm sitting right here just kind of chill for a second, letting them handle their business, forget about me, while I can go in for potentially another pick. Obviously, Victor almost rolls me. Seeing that Ashe ult in, I just peek from the right, go back on point, just retreat a little, and do actually die to the Furia. My DOT just lightly falling short of the kill. Alright, so I'm cutting the game here. We're going to go back and review some of the more important parts of this match. One of those being how passive I play when I do play passive, and how aggressive I play when I do play aggressive. So the first thing you need to notice is that when I do play passive, I'm going to play like a guard dog. I'm literally just going to sit there and defend my lane. By doing that, I can put pressure on the back line and keep them from going for a flank. So you'll see here, the video is going to resume, and I'm going to start, and I'm immediately back up, scope out where I am, if anyone's around me, listen for what I'm going for, and then you see me pre-firing every angle I can, just trying to keep someone from peeking me. You can see the Strix initiate the fight. You can see the Sati trying to throw coins to get some kind of damage out of me. I do peek up to punish her, but then immediately back up once I realize that I'm being pushed by the Strix and the Sati together. Again, I go back to defending my lane as best I can, and then I go to try to hide for a split second, do get the heal, and then that's when that Strix shows up. So that Strix shows up, and the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, I'm not going to live this, go for the obliteration just in case, do get the kill, and then after getting that kill, I immediately know that their best player is gone, so I go back to defending my lane and applying any pressure I can, see the Sati free, get the pick, and then leave. Didn't play too greedy, played it just passively enough. Ashe went in, I didn't have to bother with it. So as soon as Ashe went in, I knew I had some kind of support. Victor takes the aggro. I go, get the Furia, do die in the end, but in the process, I do get the support. I got both damages, and I got rid of the Sati, who was coin spamming, making space for my team. It was the right amount of pressure, and it was a worthy sacrifice. Alright, so here I'm going for another really aggressive engagement. I can see the Sati coin, so I know she's there. I peek around the corner, try to get a pre-fire on her, eventually hit one. See the Victor, so I push the other side. Sati does turn around, give me the free kill. I see the Victor, get flashed, start randomly shooting, do actually hit him for one hit. See the Strix, try to hold some kind of pressure so that he tries to back off, give me some space. Go for him, Victor's there, do end up getting the Victor, but because I'm only on 900 HP, I get greedy, get shot, and sadly pass. And there we have it, an example of me being defensive and offensive right at the end. Hopefully it helps. And all right, congratulations. You made it through the very beginning of Vora 101. Very, very basic stuff with a little bit of gameplay in the back to help you out. With that being said, there will be a more experienced guide that will be coming out soon once I get the hang of things like the editing, as well as I get more clips to put in with some higher elo lobbies to show off some more stuff. That being said, thank you for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. This is technically the first video that I am formally doing outside of some other stuff in the past. I do really appreciate it. I do stream on Twitch. I will link that in the bio. I will also link my Discord in the bio. Highly recommend you join that. You can catch me future uploads as well as future streams. With that being said, I hope you took something away from this. I hope you gained something out of this. Hopefully this is a good intro for people who are brand new to Vora and they just want to take some time and learn her.
That was just a small taste of what's to come.
What are you doing? Why are you here? What are you looking at? Come on, go follow me. You know you wanna.